boy with a toy.
You're looking at it here, the one on the right, an AK-47 semi-automatic replica that shoots plastic pellets, not bullets. If you were a sheriff's deputy and saw one of them pointing your way after you told the suspect to drop it, what would you do?
He was holding the weapon in his left hand. He began to turn toward his right in the direction of the deputy, and in so doing, he moved the gun toward the direction of the deputy. And the deputy's mindset was that he was fearful that he was going to be shot.
Santa Rosa Police Lieutenant Paul Henry is one of the investigators on the case. Among the witnesses he's heard from, Ishmael Mondragon, who had seen the boy carrying the rifle, who warned him to put it away, and then in his rear-view mirror, who watched events unfold.
He pulled over to the kid walking side, and he just opened the door and shoot it. 3 shots on it.
Did he warn the kid to put the gun down?
I don't hear anything like that. I'm like 50 feet away from them, but I'm stopped when that happens.
You're watching?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Mr. Mondragon says the incident took all of 10 seconds. Police investigators agree it did unfold quickly.
He's a really good kid. He wasn't bad at all.
If he would have been told to freeze, you know, put your weapon down if they thought it was a weapon, you know, he would have done that.
He was a good kid?
He was a good kid. He was a kid. He was 13 years old. He didn't look like a man, you know, Andy. He was a boy.
That he was in fear of his life, the life of his partner, and the community members in the area. And that's why he responded in the way that he did.
The sheriff's office has released no information about the deputies except to say that they are on extended leave. But in a community where deputies have now shot and killed 3 people this year, the shooting of a 13-year-old boy is testing public faith, to say the least.
It looks like I'm thinking to have a police to protect the people, but in this case, this police doesn't protect me, protect nobody. They like a criminal.
County Sheriff is promising a thorough and transparent investigation into the shooting death of a 13-year-old boy. Family and friends today mourning the death of Andy Lopez. He was shot and killed by deputies while walking down a Santa Rosa street carrying what turned out to be that toy rifle. KPI X5's Mark Kelly in Santa Rosa, where he spoke with the boy's grieving family today. Mark?
Alan, we're learning new details tonight from the spokesperson for the Santa Rosa PD. A press conference just wrapped up in that building in the last 45 minutes. Lieutenant Paul Henry, he says deputies say they saw the subject, 13-year-old Andy Lopez, carrying what they thought was an assault-style weapon around 3:15 yesterday afternoon. So this happened in South Santa Rosa. Deputies in marked patrol cars and in uniform say they told the victim two times to put down the gun. At the time, Lopez's back was turned away from the deputies, according to PD's spokesperson. And according to the deputies, Lopez turned around with the gun's barrel turning toward the deputies. Well, that's when one deputy fired several rounds and one hit and killed Lopez. The spokesperson says deputies took measures to try and save Lopez's life, but it was too late. And turns out what the deputies thought was an assault rifle was nothing but a replica.
The deputy feared for his safety, the safety of his partner, and the safety of the community members in the area. He believed the subject was going to shoot him or his partner.
So at today's press conference, they also showed us side by side a comparison between a real AK-47 and a replica AK-47. We also spoke with the victim's family earlier today. Of course, they're absolutely heartbroken over all of this. Alan, back to you.
Question, Mark. You talked to the family. This thing about the dad having rules about the guns, what was that all about?
The victim's father did say that his son did like playing with toy guns, but the rule was, you know, play with those toy guns in the house. He typically would not play with them outside the house, but according to the father, the victim was taking the gun to a neighbor's house to return it. It was not the victim's replica gun. It was his friend's. It was his neighbor's, Alan.
All right. Mark Kelly in Santa Rosa. Thank you.
And I have a brief statement I'd like to share with you at this time. On Tuesday, October 22nd, 2013, at approximately 3:14 in the afternoon, 2 deputies from the Sonoma County Sheriff's Office were involved in a fatal incident in which the deputies encountered what they believed to be an armed subject in the area of Moreland and West Robles Avenue in Santa Rosa. The male was subsequently shot by one of the deputies and succumbed to his wounds at the scene. Pursuant to the Sonoma County Law Enforcement Chiefs Association employee-involved fatal incident protocol, the Santa Rosa Police Department was requested to assume primary investigative responsibility of the incident. The Sonoma County District Attorney's Office and the Petaluma Police Department is assisting with that investigation. Our investigation is ongoing at this time. After interviewing the involved deputies, the witnesses we've identified to this point, and examining the crime scene, we're prepared to release the following information. The deputies were riding together in the same patrol car. They were driving a marked Sonoma County Sheriff's Office patrol car, and they were wearing their standard patrol uniform. While driving in the area of Moreland and West Robles, they observed a subject walking northbound on the west side of Moreland, just north of West Robles. The subject was wearing a blue hoodie-style sweatshirt and shorts. One of the deputies immediately recognized that the subject was carrying what appeared to be an assault-style rifle, similar to an AK-47 assault rifle. The weapon was in the subject's left hand, and his hand was at his left side. The deputies immediately called for emergency assistance from other deputies in the area, and they broadcast their location. The deputies continued north through the intersection and pulled over into the southbound lanes and stopped their vehicle. One of the witnesses in the area described that he saw the vehicle's overhead rotating lights on, and he heard the siren come on briefly. Both deputies exited their vehicle but maintained cover behind their opened doors. One of the deputies shouted at the subject to put the gun down. A witness in the area reported that he heard the deputy shout 2 times, "Put the gun down, put the gun down." Initially, the subject's back was toward the deputies. When the deputy shouted at the subject began to turn toward the deputies. One of the deputies described that as the subject was turning toward him, the barrel of the assault rifle was rising up and turning in his direction. The deputy feared for his safety, the safety of his partner, and the safety of the community members in the area. He believed the subject was going to shoot him or his partner. The deputy described that he's aware an assault weapon of this type is capable of firing a bullet that can penetrate his body armor, the metal exterior of his car, and the walls of the residential houses behind him. The deputy then fired several rounds from his service weapon at the subject, striking him at least 1 time. The subject immediately fell to the ground. The deputies approached the subject, handcuffed him, and immediately began life-saving measures. They called for emergency medical response, and both fire and ambulance arrived within minutes. Andy Lopez Cruz, age 13, died at the scene. An autopsy is scheduled for Thursday, October 24, 2013. Recovered at the scene was a replica AK-47 assault-style rifle and a replica of a handgun. The rifle was located on the ground next to the subject. The handgun was located concealed in the waistband of the subject. The rifle had a brown stock and foregrip and a dark-colored plastic body. It did not have the traditionally orange tip of a replica firearm. The handgun was clear plastic and did have the orange tip on the barrel. The Santa Rosa Police Department, in conjunction with the Sonoma County District Attorney's Office and Petaluma Police Department, continue to investigate this incident. Anyone with information about this incident is encouraged to contact the Santa Rosa Police Department at 543-3590. Now, I know there are often questions about replica firearms. We've brought here today the weapon that was recovered at the scene, and we also brought with us an authentic AK-47 style rifle. The first weapon we're going to show you is the authentic AK-47 style assault rifle. This weapon was recovered in conjunction with another investigation and is an AK-47 style assault weapon capable of firing live ammunition. Next, we're going to show you the weapon that was recovered at the scene. And again, our interest in showing this is simply to demonstrate that the weapon looks very much like the authentic weapon.